our journey today with a compelling talk from a true leader in the tech industry. Please join me in welcoming Patricia Duarte Mateus, the founder of QA Portuguesa. With over 10 years of experience in the field of quality assurance, Patricia has had the opportunity to engage in numerous projects collaborating with diverse teams and cultures. This rich experience has helped her hone both her soft and technical skills. She is not only a dedicated mentor and a sought-after speaker, but also an remarkable facilitator and a passionate software QA professional. Additionally, she is the founder and content creator behind the initiative QA Portuguesa. Today's talk is titled What is Software QA and Why You Need It in Your Team? In this insightful presentation, Patricia will demystify software QA and its vital role in the development process. Patricia, it's such an honor to have you here today. Before we dive into your talk, can you share what has been Hello, Patricia.
I'm sorry. I should start saying sorry because I lost my voice yesterday. So you will have my sexy voice today for this presentation.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Before we dive into your talk, can you share with us what has been a highlight for you at the conference so far? And how do you think events like this help women in tech?
So it's really nice to see how many bright women are changing the world right now, even with small things. Even a small grain of sand can have a bigger impact in the world. So it's really nice to see how we are able to do that kind of changes, even in small seeds today that we share along the community. I believe that the repercussion that we'll have will be much bigger. So it's really important to give women this space, this stage, to show that we are able to do great things also. So women's and men's, we are both equal on the abilities that we have. So it's really nice to have this safe space for women to show what they are able to do.
Thanks for sharing this. Let's give a warm welcome to Patricia Duarte Mateus.
So, what is quality, software quality assurance, and why do we need it in your team? Let me start by doing you a question. Imagine this. It is a crisp Monday morning, and your development team has just pushed the last update for your product to production. The team is really excited. You have been working on this release for months, adding new feature, squashing bugs, improving performance. It's launch day today, and everyone is feeling really confident. But at midday, something unexpected happens. You start getting messages from customers. One reports that the payment feature isn't working. Another says that data disappeared from login. Soon support tickets are floating, and all your platforms are lighting up with complaints. Your team scrambles to find the root cause, but the time is ticking and the damage is already being done. That moment when a single oversight can lead to a full-scale disaster, it's when you realize one thing. Quality, it's not optional. And this is where software quality assurance, or QA, come in. You see, in the world of software development, there's often a rush to build things fast, ship new features, and meet deadlines. It's a fast-paced world right now. But if quality isn't at the heart of the process, everything can fall apart, just like that. And it's QA that acts as your safety net, catching problems before they spiral out of control. So for today, we are going to explore a few key questions. What exactly is software QA? Why it is so crucial to your team? And why, beyond just catching bugs, does QA play a pivotal role in shaping the success of your product and of your business? Software QA, it's a kind of invisible power. Let me just sip a little bit of tea. It's not just about preventing disasters. It's about giving you the confidence that what you are releasing into the world, it's reliable, secure, and ready for your customers. It's the difference between rushing to fix a crisis and having the peace of mind that comes from knowing that your product was built with care. Software QA goes beyond your own perception of what quality is. Software QA goes beyond testing and finding bugs. It goes beyond automation. It goes beyond approving stuff to be delivered at your clients at a fast pace. It's about building confidence in what do you do and what you deliver daily. It's about ensuring quality from every angle. And so, my objective today is to challenge your perception about software QA. So, let's jump into what QA really is and why it is essential on every software team today. As I said, QA isn't about catching bugs, or isn't just about catching bugs. It's about preventing them. We should work on solutions and in a proactive way. Many of the issues, problems, and misunderstandings that are daily reported in software development teams could probably have been prevented if software QA was in the solution thinking from the beginning. So we QAs, software QAs, testers, we work in a proactive way to get the solutions in a better proposal way to deliver to your client. So usually when people hear about software QA or even just QA, they often think that testers are persons that sit behind a desk daily, running through checklists and logging bugs. If you don't work directly with software QAs, you probably has this idea, is preconception, this wrong conception. Basically, breaking softwares and bugging developers with problems, it's what we do. If you ask someone what a software quality assurance does, I believe that if you are a quality assurance, I don't know your background, which is your role on your team. If you are a QA, probably you have already faced that moment in which you have to explain what you do, and someone says, but that's too easy. It's just finding problems and report them. Or maybe you might have heard, oh, but you have a uni degree. Why are you not doing something related with your subject of study? You could do something so much better and that can fit of what you have been studying. But the reality is, QA, it's not just testing. It's about preventing defects and problems before they happen. QA is ensuring that the product delivers values to user, not just that it works. QA is about collaboration, not isolation. QA is continuous learning. QA brings confidence, not just functionality. And QA is like the shield between your users and your risks. So I hope that from now on, in case you had any idea that software QA was an easy task, anyone can do it, or even perhaps the persons that went to QA were just people that weren't able to be developers, please rethink what you are already conceptualize in your mind and think about again on what I have said. So to resume this first presentation, I can briefly say that software quality is the safety net for innovation. And as now that we are all on the same page and with the same idea about what quality assurance is, and if you notice, I even have a quote from Aristotle that says that quality, it's not an act, it's an habit. I want to dive a little bit more and lead you to understand why software QA matters so much. I cannot see who is in the audience today. I neither know your role or backgrounds, but I'm going to assume that somehow you have already been through a situation in which something went wrong in production, even when it was tested by your QA team. There's no bulletproof software. There's no bulletproof product. Or maybe you are a developer who has already said to your software QA, oh, no, there's no need to test. It's an easy fix. I've tested it already. It can go to production, trust me. And then tester goes and do his job and problems are found. In both situations, do you think that maybe if a QA had been involved sooner, those kind of problems could have been prevented? I can see you nodding or saying yes, but if you by chance had said yes for sure, some of those problems, and if you think about your daily work and your activities, if you think, yeah, if software QA should have been involved earlier, many of those issues could have been prevented, you are right. Software QA has indeed a far-reach impact, even though it's not always seen as so. Because again, software QA doesn't just catch bugs, it improves user satisfaction, it reduces costs, and protects your product reputation. If I can apply a metaphor as an example, I would say that QA is like the immune system of a software development. Its absence is only noticed when things go wrong. And usually, who are the first to notice when something goes wrong? Yep, exactly. Our clients, our users, the ones that have paid for the product in which they are finding problems where they weren't supposed to exist, or even have received a product that doesn't fit his needs or expectations. So again, software QA is so much more than testing. It's about understanding the product from a user perspective and ensuring that that not only works as it should be, as the customer is expecting or has requested, so it doesn't work just beautifully, and at least meet the expectation, but we guarantee that it isn't delivered with surprises. And those surprises can be visible or could be hidden. So I don't know if you are all on the same idea now, but maybe you are asking, okay, but oops, sorry, why are you, I'm sorry, you are seeing my screen, sorry. Let me just put some tea on my cup while you are reading the questions that I have on the screen. So you might be asking right now, how can we change this wrong perception that exists about software quality assurance? How can we turn visible the value that a software QA can bring to the development team and demonstrates the impact and added value of investing in quality. Because it's investing in quality, it's not an expense or a cost in quality. And how can you explain? I don't know if you are QAs, developers, product owners, team leaders, business 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 decision. I don't know what's your background, but how can you explain the importance and why QA should be involved since the beginning of the software development lifecycle, that it's now so on the buzz, and show as is that QA is an investment and not a cost. Explaining and showing that quality assurance, it's a mindset that permeates all stages of development. Again, I don't know your role, but in case you are a decision maker or someone that works in the software development team, how many times I have a question to you. How many times have a software QA been involved in brainstorming meetings, enrolled in refinement sessions, have participated in analysis of requirements, or even be a part of technical discussions? How many times are you able to bring them to the team? Do you understand the impact that can be brought by them, and what can they do if they are part of the process since the beginning? Because I don't know if you get the idea, but QA can be involved as in an early stage, as early as the requirement stage. For example, there is the software development life cycle, but there is also the software testing life cycle. So when I first started 11 years ago in testing area, the idea about software QA was different. So at the time, I was only involved, and many of the people that work in quality assurance and testing, at the time, we didn't have the idea of QA. We had the idea of testing. We're just involved when the product was ready. So you just needed to be tested, and then they will deliver to the client. Because at that time, the belief was that, okay, we only need QAs at the end. Pardon me. It was a waterfall mindset, just at the end. But then there's Agile coming. And in Agile, you have that round, that circle, that everything gets involved. So it took a while for me to get a major comprehension about software quality assurance importance. I've learned a lot through all these 11 years, and now I'm an advocate for quality assurance as a part of software development as soon as something is decided to be developed. So yeah, for me, with all this experience and all these opportunities, I realized that some of the most important QA work happens long before a single line of code is written by the developer. For example, looking at this image, if a software QA is involved in the requirement analysis phase, and if the requirements aren't aligned with the customer needs, you will be able to fix them early, and as though you can save the team from costly rework down the line. So it's an expense that is prevented. At every stage of development, a software QA can add value. Again, not just finding bugs, that it's important, really important, but not only that. We can also bring value, refining the product vision, identifying the risks, and ensuring that the product delivers real value. Software QA can be seen as invisible soldiers who are not only problem solvers, but also strategists. and also advocates of end user. But how? As I said, we do not just test, we are strategists, we strategize. Because when we have a well-planned QA process, we can save time, we can prevent defects, and ensure that what we are delivering has quality. By understanding the product and by having a domain knowledge, we can identify risks and we can design a plan to ensure that all critical areas are covered. Again, there are no bulletproof software products, but there are many things that can be prevented. And those things has a huge impact at the end. So a solid testing strategy, it's like creating a safety net, as I already mentioned, for the development team. If something falls through the cracks,
A Teresa
we'll
mandou-te
catch it.
mensagem, viste?
Quem?
A Teresa.
Also, software QA,
Não.
it's a
estavas
blend
a
of
dormir.
manual and
Estou
automated
com a melzinha.
testing in order to
Porque a Teresa
optimize
está aí em
quality.
Peniche.
I know that nowadays
No WhatsApp.
QA
A Teresa está aí em Peniche. Está ela, o Luís e a Dona Gertrude. Então foram de autocaravana.
all the problems in software development.
O que é? Sim,
So,
então mandou-me agora a
that's all
foto.
the issues, everything will be solved by
E ela diz,
automation.
mandei mensagem à tua mãe, mas
Sorry
ainda
to
não
inform
viu.
you, to bring you bad news, but
Pronto.
no, that wouldn't happen. That
Tô?
won't happen, at least in the near future.
Estou.
Because automation,
Olha,
it's
então,
good
Lina.
Então
to
vá,
speed up
atende.
the repetitive
Vá,
O que é que
beijinhos.
eu
tasks.
digo?
Então o que tu
But
quiseres, sei
manual
lá.
testing brings the human
Vá,
touch,
beijinhos.
ensuring
Tchau.
the user experience. Do you remember that some slides ago I mentioned that we need to have focus on user, on what he thinks, how he does, what he's expecting? By the automation, we are just scripting. We are just giving automation, giving fixed steps to be executed. There's no way of being exploratory or have that idea and that moment where we can go and see with the human eyes, with the human touch. So not everything can be automated. Automation is a key for efficiency, of course, especially in regression testing. If there's something that can be, or that it's being manually tested more than 2 times, it's a candidate for automation. Otherwise, maybe the investment that we'll be doing will not be that much, so will not have that much impact that you are expecting. So manual testing is where we explore the unexpected by ensuring that the product feels intuitive and works under real world conditions, our user conditions. I mentioned before that QA it's not isolation, it's collaboration, and it's because of this. We are part of a team. I hope you are part of a team. And as that, you need to communicate, you need to collaborate, you need to work closely, not only with developers, but also with all the team. I'm sorry. We can provide feedback that helps the team build better software, better products. We are not there to point fingers to the developers. It's not our job. It's not how we do. We are there to show them our own vision of the product based on the fact that we have a domain knowledge that many times developers don't have, and probably product owners don't have. We need to have all this bigger picture of what we are working on. So we are there to collaborate. And the best results come when QA and development work hand by hand, sharing knowledge, discussing bugs, and preventing issues before they happen. As I said, we are user advocates. What does that mean? Talking about voice, let me just slip a little bit of tea. We are the voice of the users, their own advocates. by ensuring that the product, it's not just technically, does not work just technically, but it also do what they are expecting to be done without any problems, without any issues, visible or hidden. We can and we should, and it's one of our tasks to ensure that developers build the product not just function in a functional way, but also to be intuitive and enjoyable. We can think from the user perspective, which is something that a bug report, that a test script from automation can't always capture. And of course, risk management. QA can identify risks before they become costly. And again, we are talking about costs. We can prevent those. Nowadays, every company wants to prevent having costs and losing money. So we can help teams balance the speed and quality by prioritizing what matters most. QA professional, again, we don't just find bugs. We can assess the risks. Our role is to identify problems that could impact the user, impact the project, or even the business, and we can prioritize them. By this, we can ensure that we focus on the most critical areas first. It's not that we ignore the others, but we can organize our time and our focus better. And of course, we cannot do what we do if we are settled and we do not continue to learn. So QA, it's mandatory for someone that works in software QA area to continue to learn. Because as technology evolves and new technologies emerge and new ideas, new frameworks, we need to follow them. So we are always learning. As technology changes, so the ways we test change. We need to know the roots. We need to know, for example, the foundation, the syllabus from ESTQB foundation level. We need to know the basis, but then we need to understand what happens in the world and adapt that way, those things that we have learned on what we need to test. Whether it's new automation tools, performance testing, or even AI-driven testing, that AI now, it's also a big word and has a big impact in everyone. We need to stay ahead to ensure that our testing remains effective. Again, we bring value to all the process, to the products and to the softwares.
Bom dia, pessoal. Bom sábado. E agora?
Reinforcing the idea of communication as a way to get and to confirm that everyone is aligned. Our work, it's not just finding issues. We need to communicate those to the team. And our job is to translate technical details into actionable insights for developers, managers, and stakeholders. As I said before, we need to have a domain knowledge. We need to understand the user perspective. We need to be able to talk with a lot of people inside our development team, or even some of other teams that work along with us. Communication, it's really important. We need to talk not only the tech language, but also the human language. We need to know, and we need to be able to adapt our communication for the needs. And by that, we can provide actionable insights and ensure that everyone understands what is happening and how it's possible to fix it. So yeah, I will leave you to read this while I sip a little bit of tea again. So when someone approaches you and say, oh, I work on quality assurance, and you say, yeah, so that's what you do? Yeah, go do what you do. And people say, with us, strangely, we might say that I don't tell you how to do your job, so you don't tell me how to do my job, but we can collaborate and work together. I'm not here to point fingers, I'm here to collaborate. And again, we are not there just to break stuff, so everyone can be aligned that we are there to help. So I believe that at this point, if you don't work on quality assurance, or even if you work on quality assurance, but maybe you are just in a kind of silo or working for a long time in just one product or one team, I believe that you are probably surprised by some of those roles and actions and things that a software QA professional can take on. As I said, and I can repeat, we ensure quality, not just at the end, but every step of the way. So we need to look to quality assurance as an agile, included in agile. We cannot look for quality assurance still in a waterfall methodology. QA needs to be involved as every other roles needed in a software development team. But although we know all this importance, not everyone thinks like that. Again, I don't know what's your background. I don't know in which area or field you work on. So not every decision maker, product owner, product manager, one understands what it means to have a good strategy of QA developed, implemented, and executed with time. Again, I don't know how many of you work currently in quality assurance area or work along with people from quality assurance, but have you ever faced a situation where QA was squeezed due to a tight deadline? Because I need to be honest with you, sometimes it can be tough to be a QA. Although there's those fake news and those people with wrong conceptions that QA is pretty easy, anyone can do it. Yep. Everyone can be tester, and developer as well, but everyone can, I will explain, everyone can be a tester, but not everyone can develop a mindset of a tester. So most probably who says that it's easy, probably never have faced tight deadlines, scope creeps, and probably never been asked to do more with less. But there's a thing, a really important thing, and which I'm really proud of. QA are problem solvers by nature. Challenges in QA aren't obstacles. They are opportunity to improve how we work. With the right strategies, we can deliver quality even in the toughest situations. So again, QA, it's not only a role, it's also a mindset, an attitude. And I might say that I'm almost finishing my presentation, but the truth is, every challenge is an opportunity, as I said, and it's not by avoiding them that we can grow, it's by navigating through them. And we should navigate through these problems along with all the team, along with everyone that makes part of our team. Product owners, developers, project managers, business analysts, Scrum Masters, other QAs are for a software developer in test, the QA automation that it's shortened called. But that's it. Let me just go after, or I will be melancholic, and let me help you to think about the future. So I've been thinking about the past, the present, but what about the future? What can we expect for the evolution of software QA? So I don't know, again, what's your background, what's your role? But based on what I have explained to you, what do you see for the future in software QA? When I first started, I was just a tester, manual tester, with limited involvement in the process. I just have to do what I was supposed. Today, me and all of us, directly or indirectly, in a conscious way or unconscious, we are involved in a fast-pacing landscape where AI and automation are reshaping how we work. When AI and automation come and arise, the first role that was put in front was QA. QA will disappear, machines will come to replace you, there's no need. But I hope that until now you understood that that's not like that. We cannot be replaced. QA is a field where we can carve our own path. There's no strict rules. There's no strict career development. There's so many things we can explore, we can work on, we can search more, we can get more specialized in some areas. The future of QA, it's about innovation, it's about strategy, and about leadership. So you need to understand what future can bring. You need to keep learning, continuous learning. You need to keep interested. You need to read blogs, read articles, keep yourself informed about tendencies, get yourself involved in communities, talking not only with other software QAs, but also with other team members. Understand what they are facing, understand how they solve the situation, and learn from them. That's the way that you can be a better QA, because remember, we look for everything, not only for testing and finding bugs. And before I close, I want to ask you something. If software QA it's evolving, it's not disappearing, how can you make an impact on that? Because the opportunities are limitless, sorry. And even though you might not have a QA in your team, because you are a startup, there's no money, unfortunately, because again, it's an investment, not a cost. But what can you do to bring quality for what you do daily? If you work on a team where no QAs exists, get involved and get in touch with other QAs, learn from them, try to understand what you can bring to your team and to your products and to your company to explain that QA is really important, because it is. I know that I have a passion, and I'm not truly impartial on saying that, but it's really important, and the impact that it has, it's huge. So there are a lot of opportunities, and the things are evolving, and I hope that you are evolving too with quality. Quality, it's a mindset, it's not just a role. So we need all to be cared by that. Obrigada.
Thank you, Patricia, for that empowering and inspiring talk. Now let's open the floor for Q&A. But first, I want to share some feedback from. I want to share some feedback from our chat. So people are telling that you are remarkable, and also Olga attended your workshop yesterday. It was so inspiring, and she is thankful for being with us today, even with sore throat. Now let's switch to the Q&A. And the first question is, there's a lot of discussions that developers and QAs always argue and dislike each other. What do you think? How to make common work effective and comfortable?
Again, communication. Communication is a base standard, because those kind of fights, those kind of misconceptions are something that comes from the past. It's a cultural thing. As at the time, developers were like, sorry if you are a developer on that side, but they were like gods. So everything that they do was perfect until a QA comes in and starts finding problems. and it's part. We are not bulletproof, not even as the products are not like that. So we need to know how to communicate, how to say the things. Learn how can you explain the value of what you do to your team, to your colleagues, and explain that quality, it's responsibility of everyone. Developers should implement quality when they do the unit tests, when they are part of brainstorming. So quality, it's a responsible of everyone.
Thank you for this answer. Another question, how do you keep up with the rapidly changing technologies and methodologies in software testing?
Can you please repeat the first part? Sorry.
Yeah, how do you keep up with the rapidly changing technologies and methodologies in software testing?
I think you got it. I missed the keep, how to keep. I know it's crazy. I know that the things are evolving at a real fast pace. So what I usually do is I'm part of some communities in which things are shared. I also subscribe blogs. I read books. LinkedIn, it's a go-to thing for anyone who wants to learn more, but be critical on what you are asking and looking for. Have critical, do not buy the first idea that it's sell to you. Have a critical mindset as well, but go outside and read LinkedIn, blogs, YouTube also. It's part of my daily daily tasks as a person, also as a professional, to keep updated on everything that is happening.
Thank you for this answer. Another question, what skills are essential for someone looking to pursue a career in QA?
So as I said, QA, it's also like a toolbox. We are constructors, so we need to have a lot of tools, ideas, technology. So first of all, learn the basics. Learn what it's testing. Learn which methodology, which techniques, which kind of testing are possible to be done. Then go to understand how is the work of a team, what it means to work in Scrum, or what it means to work in Kanban, and what kind of impact can a QA bring on that. Then go for frameworks, automation. You don't need to be a developer to work on automation. That's the thing that I also want to make to stay to live in here. You don't need to learn a development language from scratch. You need to learn programming logic. You need to learn scripting, and then you need to understand the difference between the automation frameworks and tools that exist. Do not be strict just to one. Open your mind and create your toolbox to be able to be adapted to any environment or any team that you might work on. So we should look for a QA in a T-shaped profile person. Like the T, we have the basics, that it's the testing, and then we have to develop the other things that come on top. The domain knowledge, the soft skills, communication, writing, reading, being proactive, and then also technology, so frameworks, tools of project management, tools for APIs, tools for automation, databases. So learn what they do, learn the minimum of how to work with, but remember that the basic, it's the testing.
Very good point. And the last question, do you have any ideas or opinions on the different perspectives between a male or female tester?
Luckily, on that part, I tend to say that it's not, during my career, I never had that thing between women and men. But as a professional, maybe I've already had, not about the role, but as a professional. So I've never, even there are more women QAs than men's, because we tend to be more able to look for details. We have, by our biological way, we are more into details. So women tend to be better QAs, sorry, men, but it's the truth. Because of that, we are more aware of everything. We have a different brain construction, and let us be more and better QAs. So I don't know. It's just me. I never had, luckily, a bad thing of being a woman working in QA. Professionally, it's another thing, but QA, as the question is, I never had.
Thanks again, Patricia. It takes a lot of courage to speak at the conference, especially when you're not feeling well. We really enjoyed your talk. Thank you for your insights and for being
Thank
with us
you.
today.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.